up, everybody? It's Headspace. Welcome back. You're chilling with Chris Chrome and the team.
Yeah, this is HSR.
And your lovely Dr. Daemon, guys. Welcome to the... Whoa, I was going to
say
stream.
Did she say Dr. Daemon?
Yes.
When did you become a doctor?
Oh, my asylum, guys. I have all my patients that I'm taking. I was
is
going to see.
This is her Twitch channel for anybody new. She streams and video games and stuff.
Yeah, video gaming, guys.
I thought maybe you were like one of the gaming patients. Like, you're very excited. You're very excited and you're very outgoing. So I was like...
No, I spread the madness.
I
like
chaos.
that. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I got a confession.
What's your confession?
Check it. So when we did the first podcast, I was on vacation and shit, and I was loving it.
Yeah.
And
You
when
little
this
bastard.
comes out, I'll be on vacation again.
Fucking kidding?
Which
Are you
means,
joking? Okay.
which means that I'll be finally getting into Skyrim. Because, yo, check it.
Wait, hold on. Holden's gonna play video games.
What?
Congratulations.
No,
You're gonna
come
start
on,
playing
I'm a
video games,
busy
but
motherfucker.
You just started playing Skyrim?
Listen, okay, here's what happened.
You know that game's like 3 years old,
no,
right?
First of all, it's 2011. Shut the fuck up.
That's
Even
okay. So
worse.
that's 4 years old. That's
How
5
is
years
that
old.
4
Bruv,
That's
at least
5
have good
years
math
old.
if you're going to come at me.
I apologize. I had a long day.
So here's what
but it's-
happened. So back in the day, I got a chance to really get into Skyrim. I think I got to about level 15, 20, and then I lost access to that save file over the console it was on.
That sucks.
And then I never had a machine or anything that could really run Skyrim until this not awful, but this machine that runs it on low. I was actually waiting for high graphic settings, but since that day might be a little whiles away, I would like to, get into the game and try it out. They're just fucking like scratching their chins and staring at me.
Honestly, you should just play Dishonored.
I don't know.
You should really get onto Dishonored and maybe
What the
Dishonored
fuck is
2.
Dishonored?
What?
It is. Oh my
No,
god.
no, this does not. No, these words
Man.
did not utter from your pretty little
don't know,
mouth.
Actually, he.
I mean.
No.
Okay, to be honest, I know it's given by Bethesda because of like the prior part of this conversation, but even knowing this game was coming up, I still don't know what Dishonored is.
Oh my
Dishonored
god.
is one of the Dishonored 1 and then now Dishonored 2 just came out, which I assume is why you're very
Yeah,
excited.
I'm having a giggle tit because I'm actually streaming this fucking game right now.
Are you really?
Yeah, I played the first one with my fucking viewers, and now I'm playing the second one. And guys, like,
Got a question.
Go.
The fuck is Dishonored?
okay, Dishonored out Bioshock in the world of trying to be.
Okay, I couldn't even get past the intro of Bioshock. I'm like,
Really? No, Bioshock was a really fun game.
Because
I
you were
enjoyed it.
scared, or because
because the game was
It's not
slow
that
and it's like
scary.
trapped in a tunnel, and I felt it was really like it was like really confining, really linear, and I couldn't get past it. I found it really boring.
I like the fact that Bioshock at least had the underwater city, but that's not the point. The point is you have to play Dishonored.
I've seen a
no,
lot.
but okay, guys, like you take a look at Bioshock, and it was a great game for the amount of freaking like the graphics were awesome,
no.
the idea was cool, the fact that they gave you choices was
The
actually
choices were
pretty
good.
good.
Okay,
Although it
but
was
really,
simple, good,
okay,
and evil
Bioshock
choices.
was a really cool game for what it was. It's just so far out of the realm of what I'd be interested in. But that doesn't answer my question, because saying it's the Bioshocking Bioshock doesn't explain to anybody who's like me what the fuck this game is.
The reason, okay, Bioshock was supposed to be a game of world exploration. It was supposed to give you an environment.
Really?
Yes, it was supposed to give you an environment of choice, an environment of areas.
So Skyrim.
Basically, yes, ish.
Okay.
Because the outcome of the game depends on your actions. In Bioshock, the only outcome that they gave you, do you kill the little sisters? Do you save them? Do you leave them alone? That was your choice.
I don't even know what type of game what is it fuck, I forgot the name.
Dishonored?
Of it. Dishonored. What kind of game is it? Like
Well,
from my
okay,
point of
so
view,
It's
it's a word.
As I played Dishonored 1, and it's based in like war times.
Okay.
Not even, maybe
Plague times.
Yo,
not. Plague times. Anyway, it's like it's a medieval game with really cool technology, and you run
Medieval?
around. Not
What the shit? No!
I apologize. It just it
guys,
takes place in old days.
Is it
Okay.
like so it's got that like walk around third party action style game? Like I
Yes.
don't even know what kind of game
It's
it is.
it's a third-person game. First person
It's a
game. A little bit like the
first-person game.
Bioshock game.
Okay.
It's supposed to give you choices. So in the first game, you have the choice to be either an assassin or a stealth.
So we're talking about Dishonored now?
Dishonored,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
the first one. You also had the choice to go with dark with your powers or light with your powers? Ish. I'm giving an ish because it's really thin line. With Dishonored 2, what they did and changed towards the first one was that, yes, it gave you that same storyline where you have to go to this point to continue in the gameplay. However, all the little details that they put, the literature actually refers to all the characters from the first game, all of them.
So would you say that Dishonored 2 is more or less like an expenditure
Yes.
of Dishonored 1?
It's like so much more. It's 15 years later. The person that you were trying to save in the first game is actually one of the main character. You have the choice to play either or character. So already
So you
there.
get two different stories.
So if I understand correctly, it's Skyrim with less options.
What is your obsession with Skyrim?
Listen, this is my opinion, the epitome of beautiful gaming and awesome experiences.
It's true.
Fair enough.
Skyrim is an awesome freaking game.
I would just like somebody to point out one game that did what Skyrim did better
Witcher.
than Skyrim.
Witcher.
I don't agree. That's another conversation.
Have you played Witcher?
Yes, a little bit. Not a full game through, but just even in the feel of the game, Skyrim is a better, more fluid experience. Because you have more choices on how your character can develop, and it's literally how you play your character develops it.
I see.
That's what I'm saying. Like, in regards to just what game does Dishonored out Skyrim, or is it something different?
It's something completely different. It's not even the same type of gameplay. It's choice by consequence type of gameplay.
Can you clarify what that means to those of us like Holden that are completely ignorant?
Okay, so you can play of two ways. Okay, let's just put good and bad.
This is
If you do good if you do good things throughout the game, you'll have a happy ending. If you do bad things throughout the
So it's
the
Coder.
Huh?
What's
Knights
Coder?
of the Old Republic.
No.
You could be a good Jedi or a bad Jedi, and that directly impacted the end of the game. And you had that dichotomy split, and you had to make a choice.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yes. But you choose it. You can redeem yourself through some actions.
Exactly like Knights of the Old Republic.
Good. I've never played that, so I can't.
They're the same
I
people who
apologize.
made Mass Effect. I can't remember the.
I did not enjoy Mass Effect.
No, but Knights of the Old Republic is better than Mass Effect. Mass Effect it's a little different, but no. Let's go back to the topic at hand.
Dishonored.
Yeah, Chris, why are you excited to try this or afraid to try the future one?
What, Dishonored 2?
Yeah, man.
No, I'm actually really excited to play Dishonored 2. I like Dishonored because I played the first one. The first one was very intriguing to me. I like the tricks you can do, the different items you have, the different not technology, but the different gadgets you have. They go in depth with what you're possible to do. And when I was speaking with Damon earlier today, she was saying something about how Dishonored 2 is more open world. And I remember playing Dishonored 1, and it's somewhat open world where you can interact with different people and like go into like different shops and stuff. Yes, but not so much where like at one point there's a barrier you can't continue. And by open world, I'll admit Skyrim's open world is amazing.
I'll admit that there are barriers somewhere if you're willing to walk and climb mountains and
Of course, they have to stop it at one point.
There will always be walls of friggin' games. However, some games are pretty clever at it.
Yes.
But we'll get on that topic maybe some other time.
But please explain the Dishonored 2 open world,
The
though.
open worldness of Dishonored 2 is every character interacts with you. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
First level, I'm gonna try and not give you. I'm gonna give you tips.
No spoilers.
I'm gonna try as much as possible.
Spoiler alert.
There is this part. You always have an optional part. You can either go straight to the main gameplay and go kill whoever you need to kill, or you can investigate, inform yourself on that character, and you inform yourself with the literature in the game. It is completely like. I want to rip my eyes out every time I open a document because it's so long and intricate and perfectly well knitted into what is the game. Anyways, I digress.
Do you receive anything from reading these books? Like any type of knowledge in the game?
Yes, there is.
So wait, you can come across books that increase your skills? I wonder what other game brought that with in-depth literature.
Good job.
Yeah, it's just it makes you advance more on the character that you need to kill, right? So now you're realizing maybe I don't need to kill this person. Maybe I could do something else to this person to eliminate them as a threat. So you have choices. You could either talk to the side quest, which you like to call fluff, but which actually opens up the game and opens up different characters. There's also the fact that you can walk in the street randomly in Dishonored 2 and approach somebody having a conversation, and at some point one of the characters is threatening the other. If you eliminate that character on the right time, you have made an ally. There are beggars in the streets in this game.
I think you just brought in the first thing that I can't point back to Skyrim, because I don't think that in Skyrim you directly can have that level of reputation impact.
Well, actually, you get reputation impact in Skyrim when you do some of the side quests and you save the people.
It's not the same thing like what she just described.
That's
better. I'm giving this game its credit.
There's also another cool thing that you can do if you find a beggar.
What can you do?
You can give him coins, steal his shit, or ignore him. If you give him coins, he will actually give you tips to bypass the guard's light gate. That will not make your stealth mode go down. So he tells you, if you go in this corner, that street, in that apartment, you'll go through a bloodfly nest, but you won't encounter any guards. So they give you tips and tricks to get through the game if you help them. If you don't, then they start talking.
So it's more realistic in a sense. Like everybody's got a price for something.
If you steal from a shop, you go to another shop. Hey, have you heard somebody fucking stole from a shop? And
Skyrim does that. In fact, if you do go into all the various houses and start like stealing shit, people will start talking. Oh, there's a thief around town. We've heard that stuff's been missing since you've shown up.
Yeah,
that is
cool.
a classic.
But like, it's not like the same level of detail per se. It's more nuanced, and I appreciated it. But I'd hoping that when Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, which I'm sure they're already going to start working on at some point, and they're gonna make Skyrim look like an asshole with an even better game, and it has that shit because they're gonna obviously rip this off, especially if Bethesda's involved in both projects. So I got a serious question about this Dishonored and Dishonored 2 franchise, since Chris has only played one of them.
Inquire away, friend.
Alright, how long is the story of these games?
There's really no fucking telling, because, like I said earlier, there's two ways of playing this game. Either you go straight for the fucking kill, or you can exploratize and fucking inform yourself and get more of the story, get more of the background, get more of, more options, more people, more ways of playing this game. It's really
Hold up.
Just to bring everybody up to speed. Yeah, just to bring everybody up to speed.
What the fuck is exploratize?
Exploratizing, freaking doing the exploring of,
we have now entered Damon's vocabulary.
Oh no, my verbal diarrhea. No.
Exploratize. I would say it's the act of exploring.
I don't think it's a real word, but
well,
it's
I know,
okay.
but in like Damon's vocabulary, it could be the act of exploring.
So context time.
So to bring everybody up to speed, me and Holden have had a little discussion about.
You guys had a conversation without me?
Happens.
Yeah, shit happens. I'm sorry.
No, because then you
somebody
bicker.
doesn't go on Twitter and even interact with us throughout the day, and then wants to act like that.
I bother Holden all the time.
I might actually. Let's go back to answer the question.
Anyway, to bring everybody back up to speed, me and Holden have had conversations about what we like in games and dislike in games, and I came to say that I find games now are short.
Okay, that's where the debate started, right? No, hold on, Damon. I asked Chris what that even meant. What does short mean?
To me, short means that I feel the story modes and the storylines of current games are not as long as they should be.
Well, if you're playing stupid games like Call of Duty, yeah, I would agree on
let's
you.
Let's not just get the COD trolls to come after us like that. Okay.
No,
Call of Duty in terms of a story isn't a story. It's a
COD,
training session.
But I understand COD because most of COD is played online.
How long is a Call of Duty story mode?
2 hours?
That's maybe? A training session.
2 to 3 hours, yeah.
That's like, here's how to play COD. Now go play online.
Basically, but that's the point of COD, right? That is the point of COD. You play the game and you play on the online. It's the same things. I find GTA is the same way. You play the story, you can beat it in like 3-4 hours.
I don't agree. I do not agree.
San Andreas was so fucking long with its story that you could probably...
Okay, fine. GTA 5. GTA 5.
It had a story mode.
No, it had a story mode. I understand. But I feel like the story mode was very short. And you beat it, and then it's like everybody got so held up on the online.
That's an interesting point, right?
The online is pretty cool, but the story mode itself, I feel like they could have put more in it. San Andreas, you say, is very long.
Yeah, but San Andreas also was just the story. There wasn't the online. There wasn't the multiplayer interactive.
I enjoy that.
Which I understand, which is cool. But when you're saying games are getting shorter, if it's really... You're not really taking into account the total value of gameplay. Now here's what really set me off before. Chris had the audacity to call the side quests in Skyrim fluff.
Fluff.
That gave him no reward or no benefit. Look, I can understand how you don't have to do the side quests, but that's a lot of valuable content that enriches the culture of the world you're exploring.
Not only the content, the experience you're gaining, let alone makes your fucking gameplay so easy to play. Well, easy. Enjoyable. More enjoyable to play because you have all these extra things. Yeah, okay, you could do the side quest, which means that nothing to you, or the main campaign. However, you will get this axe that will help you with this particular boss because...
A point that I brought up was when you do the main missions, right? Mm-hmm. The main mission storyline might be a little short for Skyrim. I did play Skyrim. I find that the storyline itself, despite
how long did it take you to complete the main story? Let's put this into actual numbers.
If you do it that way, you have to take into consideration I work, days off.
No, but hours you can calculate. How many hours?
I'd say at least 20 hours to beat this.
So are you saying that 20 hours is a short game in your opinion?
You can do that in a month.
Because I agree with you actually.
Like I've done it. That's you put an hour a day. That's 20 days. That's a month.
Hold on, hold on. We're comparing this to what exactly? When you're reminiscing about games like on the PlayStation 2, where the gameplay was actually 8 to 12 hours. But, I'm looking at a 20-hour game.
I can just say that that's not uniformly true. It's
very
genre specific. I'll give everyone that. But let's consider it just like, is 20 hours of storyline content.
I find that completely acceptable.
Only if the game is enhanced in some way. Do you guys remember the criticism of Fable? First Fable.
No, I don't.
The game was insane. It was like, you could do all sorts of stuff. It was one of the earliest renditions of a proper karmic system. And it was like 10 hours long, and there really wasn't much else you could do. You could play it through twice. So replayability increases gameplay value, but even 10 hours times 2 is 20, and it's still a short game. So I think what's worth taking into consideration is what else you can do that is fun and worth doing in the game.
And I agree, which is where the side quests and all the quote-unquote fluff comes in.
Okay, you need to stop using that word.
I picture it is like a porn fluffer.
Yeah, okay, no, but what? Okay. Porn fluffer?
Where did we go?
It's apparently an urban myth that doesn't happen, but a porn fluffer would be the girl that jerks off the person before he shoots his load for the money shot. Back to the game talk.
Oh, okay.
That's very
TMI,
very
folks, unfortunately.
What were you talking, fluff?
Look, I understand when you put in the side missions, the side quests and everything, they do help you gain better levels and higher rank and all that stuff.
Just
cool.
stock up on coins, stock up on items and
when
stuff
I played
like that.
Skyrim, unfortunately it's vague to me a little bit because I did play it like a couple years ago, but when I played Skyrim, I remember that you could just continue through the entire storyline and not have to do the side missions. And on top of that, there was never really a point where during the storyline, you had to do a side mission. You had to like, oh, you need this specific thing, but it's not part of a storyline. I feel like everything in the storyline was just, all right, you got it, you got it, you got it, you got it. I just gotta respond to
that a little bit. The thing about Skyrim particularly, because I'm gonna hype this shit up, it's that each of these side quests tend to spark its own unique storyline, often with multiple quests. Now, granted, there are a bunch of stupid little fetch quests, like go get a mammoth tusk for this random person in white. Anyway, so shit like that is in the game, and it's completely irrelevant unless you happen to have the mammoth tusk when you talk to the person, and that's how I treat those. But the actual side quests take that gameplay of 20 hours and probably shoot it up to like 60, 70. I don't know the actual number. I'm not there yet, folks.
But
exactly.
Like the best example I could give you to that, because I haven't played Skyrim, it's not my type of game, but Witcher did exactly that. You have the main quest, which gives you about 40 to 60 hours of gameplay in the main quest. But if you go like, okay, there's a side quest, but that side quest will give you 15 hours. And then within that side quest, you'll get another side quest because that character is just not going to give you this because of that.
Do the side quests ever really intertwine with the main quest? Like, I feel like never the main quest.
The Skyrim is exactly that,
I think that we need to go and look at this from a couple of different angles before we even drop this. So we've considered that online play increases gameplay value. We've considered that whether or not you choose to do them, Side quest, increase gameplay value. Let's talk about Civilization.
Oh, no.
Now, there's a reason I'm bringing this up.
That
I
game
love
gives me a headache.
Civilization.
Unfortunately,
On my like $30 or $40
risk.
purchase, it's super risk.
It's risk on steroids.
It's like if you like project management, it's the best game in the world for you because you just manage your empire as it grows. Anyway, I've clocked like 400 plus hours on Civilization Beyond Earth alone for $30 or so.
I've done.
You want to talk about gameplay value? This game, it's like every time you start it, it's a one-off adventure that you play through and it ends and you get a score. Then you try it again. So when you really consider the length of a game, you can't just go, oh, the story got shorter, so there's nothing else to do. The market and the world of games has metamorphized into so many possible options to elongate length. Now, you want to talk about real fluff? Achievements. Achievements are pure fluff, and when the game puts like 100% completion rating based on finding rubber bands in the middle of the fucking alleyways.
Talking about that, the best achievements in a game I found were in Borderlands 2. Yo, that shit was
Borderlands
hilarious.
2 is a fun,
Have
epic
you ever
game.
gotten?
I have that on my
Have you guys
computer.
ever
It is an
gotten the
epic
trophy
game.
F your couch?
I did not, but I would love to hear how you get that.
Oh, you have to go through the Bloodhound stronghold, and you have to jump on all the fucking couches.
No.
I want to know what is the funniest achievements you guys have got.
Okay,
Actually, I want
hold on.
everybody to
There's
post
this game.
their funniest achievement.
The craziest achievement I have comes from this game that I can't remember the name of right now. I'll get back to it later on when I Google and someone else is talking. But the guy made you run through hoops. So this game is basically you're walking around this office place trying to figure out what happened with a narrator. And depending on if you listen to him or not, he interacts with you in a certain way. And there's a way to trigger this achievement where he makes you just run around like a chicken without your head on, doing mundane, arbitrary things. Open the drawer and look for the thing. Go turn the doorknob over here. And you do this for like 15 minutes of him just you're getting so much closer. Oh my God, you're almost there. You're going to get it. But wait. And then finally you get the achievement, and I'm not going to lie, I love that moment. But still, that was pure fluff. That was like 15 minutes of extra gameplay that really added nothing to my life.
What was the achievement called?
What is your favorite have achievement? To log into Steam and take a gander. So if you guys want to share yours, I will look that up right now.
Well, it's not my best trophy achievement. However, it was the best trophy I gotten in experience. It was exactly that. Fluff. Complete fluff. Borderlands 2, once again. Have you done the DLCs?
I have not even finished the game because I have no one to play with. So what happened?
Dude,
I don't
play
like
with me.
We will get there, but I don't like soloing Borderlands. It's Borderlands 1, me and my boy got to like...
It just makes it so good, though. It makes it so good to experience when nobody else is just going on ahead without you exploritizing. But, like, the best... it was the Torg expansion. When you go and he does the arena thing and blah, 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 and then you have to talk to his grandmother.
Yes.
And for 15 timed minutes, his grandmother starts talking to you about this and that and Johnny and this and that. And then at every, like, little interval, she's like, are you even listening to me? What did I say about this? And then you actually have to respond. And you have to do this not once.
Okay, hold on.
Not twice.
I want to cut Chris off before he goes there because I pulled up the Steam game. The game is called The Stanley Parable. For anyone that wants to check it out, you should Twitch this and stream it. You'll have a fucking field day with how ridiculous this game is. Look at these fucking achievements. Click on door 430 5 times. Achievement. Welcome back. Quit the game and then start it again. You can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it. Beat the game. Okay, fine. Now let's look at some of the more ridiculous ones. Commitment. Play the Stanley Parable for the entire duration of a Tuesday. Complete the Stanley Parable in under 4 minutes and 22 seconds. Like, don't play the Stanley Parable for 5 years. So for me to get this achievement, I have to keep the game and not load it again for the next 5 fucking years in order to get that achievement. Tell me that's not fucking insane.
That is a little crazy.
I think
a
this,
little crazy.
This hits the prerequisite of what we were looking for, right?
Yeah. No, that was awesome.
That is insane. That is insane achievements. Although I actually got a really stupid achievement. You ever played the game Fear, the Fear series?
Yes.
No,
but only the online.
Okay, well I played I may have touched upon the online once, but I played the story modes, and actually the Fear series is the best series I've ever played. I love it. I love the crazy little girl. I love everything about it. It's super cool. The new game, the new one is actually a little, I forget what it's called. Well, it's Fear something. Anyway, the new game is actually pretty cool. I like the way you can play 2 players on it. You can never play 2 players in the first Fear games, but I do enjoy the first-person shooter gaming. So, with that, the achievement I got, I was fucking around. I'm not gonna lie, I was fucking around, and I'm the type of gamer, even when I play COD or any shooting game, I like to run into the madness and just start shooting people and having a good old time, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, you're playing Fear, that shit doesn't work, so I keep running in and I keep dying, or I throw a grenade and I run in and it blows up and I keep dying. Funniest thing in the world, I got Suicide King, and it's like, honestly, it just made me feel more like a dumbass. It's like glorifying the fact I'm a dumbass.
I honestly think that achievement is in every first-person shooter secretly locked away. Because I know I've gotten that before when I do die.
I've gotten it too.
You know why? Because I'm so fucking bad at these games that half my deaths are suicide.
And I'm pretty sure I got Window Breaker.
Props in that.
I broke every window in that game.
Right.
Every window in Fear. Every single one.
This is the fluff that makes the game
No, but you know
long,
what? But that's not the
but
fluff because
so
I didn't try to do
awesome.
it. I
No,
didn't
but
attempt
there's
to
a
do it. I just
danger
walked
here.
around and was like, break glass, break glass, break glass, break glass, shoot,
Let's
shoot,
go
shoot.
in like to a more serious tone because there's a danger with the way that fluff is becoming a more prevalent part of elongating gameplay. Now we got to take into consideration that games are getting exponentially more expensive, and we are facing an imminent video game crash if the consumer market doesn't respond appropriately.
Of course.
Not just a crash, a bankrupt. Like, the Stream Killer now understand how much of an investment
hold on.
it is to be a gamer.
A crash really was meaning bankrupt to all the people out there. Companies are going to lose money.
They're losing money now.
And do you guys know what happened in 1983? Because Uncle Holden over here encouraged some homework for the crew. So we went ahead and looked up what happened in 1983. I have notes here. So Atari died, and this basically killed the video game market, and there was actually talks of video games never existing again in North America. The entire industry pivots to Japan, and thankfully in 1985 the Nintendo Entertainment System comes out, and we discover Zelda not long thereafter, and life improves only better from there. But what happened was the game market got super saturated, right? So basically, tons of publishers are dropping tons of games. Apparently, there was like 30 plus consoles on the market at the same time.
Yeah, well,
only
that's
that-
where they didn't get. That's where they started to fail, and it's scary because it's happening again.
It's not
Like-
only that, but I was when I was reading up on it, they were talking about how they had a lot of third independent parties making games for
Well,
them.
no, hold on. We got to get there. You're actually jumping ahead. There's more before that, so we'll get there.
Started
So
with
that
consoles.
comes as a result of something. So it started with this oversaturation of the market, but Atari was owning the world by dropping dope game after dope game. Their consoles weren't king, and Atari was basically running shit. And then Atari got the rights to Pac Man. And because Pac Man was like seriously powerful back then, it was like the #1 arcade game. It was like, I think Pac Man is actually internationally more recognizable than Mario as a video game character.
Well, even to this day, Pac-Man's still fun.
No, that's what I meant. Like, even to this day, he's internationally the most recognized video game character, was a stat I read somewhere.
Yo, it's so good that they remastered that shit for PlayStation 4. Yo, you can get Pac-Man for free on the PSN.
No,
That's
I like,
dope.
I like,
Hold
the,
on.
fact that, I
Waka,
like the
bitch.
fact that they actually made a live version of Pac-Man where he actually runs around and there's
Yes.
traps and there's...
So what ends up happening is they buy the rights to Pac Man. Pac Man's owning the world, and basically they decide to create 12 million copies of this game while there are only 10 million copies of Ataris in the world. Meaning that they thought that the name Pac-Man alone was so strong, they were going to encourage 2 million additional people to purchase Ataris. Now the thing is, they paid one programmer to develop the entire game and offered him a royalty per manufactured game, not per game sold. What that meant is, it doesn't matter how the game performs after it's made, he gets paid. he had
Either way,
like
he makes money. That's
no,
basically what he's
it's
saying.
not what I'm saying. I'm saying in one way he makes money if the game is good or bad, and in the other way he only makes money if the game is good. Like if he has to get paid based off of the sales of the game.
Okay.
They gave him like a few weeks to produce this game. Like they got the rights late in the year and they wanted it out by Christmas. If you actually see this shit, and I encourage everyone to check it out, it is the worst, like doesn't even look like Pac Man thing that ever came out. Atari managed to sell 7 million of those bad boys and had 5 million in a warehouse. The next year, we'll get to the other stuff. Next year, they buy the rights to ET with Steven Spielberg.
The worst fucking game.
Actually, yeah. I can't find a single site on the internet that, aside from things like racism, cites this game as worse than this game. It's like ET's this little green Martian thing, and it's just he walks, and you don't even know what the fuck is happening.
It hurts.
I unfortunately have never played ET.
No. You don't want to. It's fortunate that you never graced yourself.
There was one game that was worse than that game. However, in that crucial moment, it was the wrong time.
What happened is again, Atari basically offered like no money to the game investment, gave them like 3-4 weeks to publish it, or maybe a little more. And they wanted it out by Christmas, and they dropped 2 terrible fucking games in a row. Atari ended up with so many copies of unsold games that there is currently landfills just full of fucking Atari shit. Now, this is where we lead to the part where the third party comes in. Sorry for dominating this, guys, but I really looked into this.
Go for it.
And what ends up happening next is Atari didn't want to credit anyone, right? So you have all these programmers, designers, people working on the game. And there was no credits. It was Atari make this.
No
I did
royalties.
read that the independent parties started.
So basically, the 3 or 4 main people that are like their top developers break away from Atari because they want more money. They're not getting credit. Atari didn't want to budge, and they form Activision. Activision is the first third-party game developer that ever came out. So that's why Konami and stuff came later on. Now, what happened what's different between now and then is their third-party developers ended up controlling the market. They were producing the games because they had the best programmers, and it wasn't console-specific at all. So you could pretty much buy a copy of a game, plug it into a whole bunch of shit. And then things got real fucking weird. Apparently, like, you could fuse consoles together and shit. Like, ColecoVision came out with Atari plugins and this one plugins. And on top of that,
They wanted to make a versatility with
But-
the fucking
But the
games.
versatility ended up killing.
No,
half
but
the
have you
vision.
guys just
No.
picture this in like a modern world? So you've got a PlayStation 4 in your room,
Yeah,
and now you can plug the Wii U into it.
yeah.
That's
Right.
basically what they were doing back then.
That loses effort and money for the other companies. Sony can now be used as something else instead
Yes,
of
it's
having
absolutely cheeky because I don't think they had the right copyright laws and stuff. But I don't know. Apparently, there were so many fucking bad games out there that
I don't think it's just about
Purina,
bad
the
games.
dog food
I don't
company,
think it's
was
just
offering.
about bad games.
No,
I
dude,
honestly-
I'm telling you, Purina, the dog food company, produced a shitty video game that you could get by sending in a coupon proving you bought their dog food. Like that's
Investment.
but the thing is, like, apparently because there were so many games, right? The price per game drops. So what happened is at first the game's like $10, $15, $20, whatever it was. By the end of this, there's so many fucking games out because now companies are just shitting out bad games to sell them at $2 that Atari can't even sell its games for any value because it just dropped 2 shitty games. End result, the whole thing fucking crashes and falls apart. Everything pivots to Japan. Nintendo comes back, life gets better, and video games progress into the world as we know it. Now, the reason this history lesson is relevant is because...
Sounds very familiar to what's happening right now.
Took the words literally out of my mouth.
Shit, I'm sorry.
But perfect timing to bring it in. But yeah, so we are, from what I've seen, facing an imminent threat. And I have to consider my own consumer habits. I've lost interest in the video game market in the way it's being done right now. And there's a few things that triggered me. One of them is DLC.
DLC is cool on certain levels.
Exactly.
And certain aspects of different games. No, actually of certain games. I apologize for that. Because if you really have a game that captivates people's attention, you will get them to buy the DLC. For example, and I'm only going to use this example, COD, the only reason why I play Call of Duty, I don't even play the online half the time.
It's fine.
Is for the zombies. The DLCs for the zombies, I like the fact that they have a cool story behind it and everything else like that.
Okay, but
that is relevant.
Let me be a little more specific, though. There's DLC that adds value, such as the DLC in Skyrim, which is like, I don't know, 10 extra hours of a unique story, quest, extra things pop up, and things happen. Let's take COD for an example.
Okay.
Half their DLC is now your half their DLC is now your gun is a U.S. flag.
Yes!
But no.
It's just absolute bullshit.
I'm not talking about that though.
But
like that's the online DLC packages. I'm talking about the legit when you play the separate story of zombies and you get the DLC.
I agree
you just
that-
get different maps.
No, these are the things that piss me off. All right, so let's think about Borderlands 2, right? You guys all agree it was an awesome game. The DLCs, what did they do? They made the game more awesome. Tiny Tina's Attack on Dragon Keep.
But they were
Did they change the guns?
No.
Did they change anything really about the game except for the map?
They added levels. They added more missions.
They
like,
added more
hell,
characters.
Take Skyrim and
like
shit.
Your character itself doesn't really change.
Dude, take World of Warcraft. You get like 10 extra
Never
levels.
played World of Warcraft.
Granted, those are expansions, but like if the DLC is essentially an expansion, I'm okay with that.
That's what they
You're
should
extending
call it.
the game.
That's what
But
they should
download
call it.
That's my point on Call of Duty on the zombies. You're extending the story.
Yeah, but we're talking about the 90% of Call of Duty fucking DLC is bullshit. It's guns. It's like extra shit. To the point where there's CS:GO gambling sites and other crap.
Not relating to, not entirely relating to the zombies, but as well, if you look at Destiny, that's all DLC.
I don't know a
Titanfall
fucking
is
thing
also-
about DLC. Sorry, I don't know a fucking thing about Destiny.
Destiny is you go from fucking planet to planet, kill the same monsters repeatedly, and then you do the DLC. You get the DLCs.
But
and then
as I was
actually
doing
fight
some
more
research,
monsters.
though, something that really fucked with me is there are apparently games now that, like, in order... See, DLC went from being, like, transformative expansions to shit like, okay, you can only play to, like, level 10 for free, and now you have to unlock it with money. And it's not even really DLC anymore. It's now, like, it's transformed into a point where... It's like the game is no longer $60. The game is now actually half the price of a fucking console because it's $60 for this chunk. Then it's another $20 for that chunk and that chunk.
For me, like, DLCs, like, you have to understand, guys, like, I am the legit gamer. Like, a DLC is expensive, but if it has replay value, I will buy it. If the DLC's description is blue color on this new Magnum gun, or... You get the commando fucking
But
suit.
see,
Fuck
that's the
you.
thing.
I'm not gonna pay
how
fucking
do you
$15 with that.
How do you portray that and sell that? Like you can't.
They do, and people.
But they
fucking
separate it, right?
buy
They
this.
separate it, right? They separate it on the online when you're playing the online shooter games or whatever. They say buy this DLC, buy this custom.
Let's
pack,
say you're right. In
this,
shooters, the shit's all skins and it's fine and it's all flossing for your online homies. Okay, I'll give you that. But let's talk about RPGs again. A lot of times, especially in RPGs, adventure games and shit, if you have to purchase additional money after you've already spent money to finish the fucking game, which is apparently a habit that's starting to happen now. You can't even fight the final boss without unlocking him.
That happens on Destiny.
You can't even fight the...
It's stupid.
How much do you spend for Destiny? What?
Destiny comes out, let's say it's on average
how much
it's
is
a $60, $70 game on
and
average.
now how much is it to get the final boss?
It's another game. It's
60, 70?
It's theoretically another game.
Yeah.
So how much does a fucking console cost? $500-$600? How the hell is a game gonna really cost a third of the price of a console?
But you guys know what's gonna
That's
happen,
insane.
guys? Like, okay, this sounds all like, okay, this for that, but they're getting us used to one thing, and that is the dreadful renting to play.
Oh my god, it
That
was literally
is going-
the note I was about to stare at and go to next.
Really?
Subscription-based fucking gaming.
I can't
Season
read.
passes.
But that's
fucking
what's
all of
happening.
it. It's the
Freaking
worst.
Assassin's Creed, freaking Destiny, freaking Titanfall. That's what it is. Premium subscriptions to fucking get access
people
to
of the
stuff.
internet, stop buying games before they're finished.
Oh shit, that is the worst. They're using that as
Stop
fucking
renting
funding.
video games. Listen, you guys have the money. You guys have the power. But how is it you're gonna watch a demo that makes the game look like fucking the sexiest girl or boy you've ever seen in your entire life? You watch the trailer, it's dope as fuck. You play this thing, it's amazing, but it's one level. And then you buy this game for like $80 to $100 in some cases. We're in Canada, folks. It's worse over here. And you find out that the game's like you just jerked off but couldn't even come in quality compared to that demo you played, because clearly they got enough money off of their pre-orders that they didn't even need to finish the motherfucking game.
No, that's one of the things, but there's also, like, you're talking about pre-orders, you're also talking about, like, indie games.
No, but when we talk about the trailers and everything else, there's a serious... Indie games is another topic. We're going to even get to that. That's my next note, but we're not done with this one. See, the thing is when you produce trailers and demos of a next level quality, and then you buy this game for an insane amount of money, and the game is trash and has no replay value, right? What ends up happening is you look at that company and go, I don't know that I want to do this again. Now, for a long time, we're talking years, we've allowed this to happen, but how many of you out there have decided, like me over here, I'm going to wait for the Game of the Year edition with all the DLCs and expansions 3 years later for $25? That's where I'm at with my gaming. I can't play new shit because I don't trust it no more.
And that is an amazing point, because an article that I was reading this morning was talking about how game critics, when they go to play these new games for the very first time, they don't play it like we do. They don't play it from level 1. They get dropped in the middle of the game, and they're super amazing weapons, whatever it is, and they get to play it from an aspect. And especially on top of that, while they're playing this level, this amazing level with all the bad guys and everything are coming at you, they have one of the producers or the people who worked on the game standing behind them going, go this way, go that way, go into that door, go into this. So not only are these critics not having their own actual based opinion because they haven't fully played the game, but they are being dropped in actual...
I just want to ask you a little a side question here. Let's clarify who you mean by critics out there, because there's dudes like Angry Joe that are fucking like next level with honest reviews.
We're talking about the critics that are on the fucking box.
Yeah, the ones that are on the box, the official critics.
And I just wanted to clarify for the
No, I'm not talking about the internet critics, the people who actually brutally destroy these games and explain them to us, which we really want to hear. I'm talking about the professional critics who are paid to actually critique a game. And not even them, they don't get a full-on experience of the game. And it's the same thing as the demo. Their demo might be a little better than we are, or actually we might be playing the same demo they have.
So yeah, why this is a problem, folks, is because this is really comparable to what ended up happening back in 1983, right? So what led to the crash and the devaluation of games is the fact that, so many shitty games came out that people lost interest and stopped buying them. Now, I don't know how accurate this is, but I actually read somewhere, and it's what sparked my interest in this, that almost every game that came out in 2016 was a commercial flop in terms of its success ratio. Damon just tensed the fuck up, and I don't know where she's going with this.
Well, not every 2016 release. However,
AAA game major releases.
I tend to agree and disagree. For the only reason that these games keep getting pushed off to the next year, and the next year, and the next year. The only reason why they don't make the only reason why, you know what? Dishonored 2. How long ago was it supposed to come out?
Well,
we're talking 4 years.
Is the game good?
Amazing.
Well, then I'm okay with a video game company taking 4 years to develop a dope-ass game.
That's what the companies are now doing. They're pushing away the games. Let us get a little bit more funding from the pre-orders. And this is why they're not making their funding. Because they're not making money. They're breaking even at the end of the month. But
that is an interesting way to look at it.
But the games actually make sense. I looked at the games that came out. The only game that I was disappointed lately in, that I bought, and I was like, I am so pissed off at this, was, and I can't think of the freaking title. I'm so sorry. I'm going to think about it and come up with a bubble at some point. But it happened to me once this year. Once. So far, I've played Dishonored. I've played Bioshock, which came out again. So they didn't really change anything, but it was good. All of these indie games that came out.
Let's talk about indie games. Because there's actually, and that's actually another factor that plays into the trusting.
They're so good.
But the thing is
so cheap.
There's so many of them, and so many of them are not worth the price. So yeah,
true.
A $30 game compared against a AAA release at $100 is a really cheap game. But a $30 game, in my opinion, is still in the price range of what I believe a AAA game should be costing. And
I agree.
At least if the whole DLC model is what we're stuck with. But if you're making an indie game, chances are it's not as long as a AAA game. There's not as much to do in it. And I've spent like 10-15 bucks on games like the Banner Saga series, which is amazing, hand-drawn, super beautiful, but you get like 8 hours out of the game, and you're like, that was 15 bucks, and that's 8 hours. It's a great 8 hours, but it's no longer really worth the money.
I disagree. I would $15 for a game that has a storyline that keeps me for 8 hours. Honestly, I think it's worth it compared to a game that I paid $12.
I'm gonna double check my total gameplay on that game. You can keep talking.
No, there was this indie game that I had was Among the Sleep. Amazingly orchestrated game, very well written. The message was powerful. However, it was 2 hours. $12 game. I found that I was overcharged, but the story had it all. If they only had expanded, I would have paid $6, $7, $8 for the game, but $12, no. You take a look at a game that cost me $14. I expect a game like, and for those who know me, know I love this game, The Binding of Isaac. The Binding of Isaac has 2 expansions, but
did I see you streaming that the other day?
Yes, you did. It's a twin stick game. It's the most easy shit, the most indie game. It's been around forever, but you can literally have 1,000 hours on that game and still not be half done because it's challenge
There's this
unlocks.
one I've been like eyeballing on Steam for ages that looks like it has a lot of potential, called Gary's Mod, that like just seems like an open sandbox with anything and everything that you could do in it.
I've heard about it. It's like a Minecraft
even to that
sort
end.
of.
So indie games is like gambling. That's how I see it in indie games. So there's so many of them at so many price points, and all the price points are mismatched to the value. So you can't set expectations, and it's like you're constantly just disappointed with video games lately. Look, I know that you've had a great and positive experience with them.
Well, it's because I listen to other gamers. I inform myself. I'm like, hey, you're playing. Twitch is a great platform for that because you get to choose by game. You don't know about a game?
To be fair,
I'm like
a geek that just has no time for games. So I have a lot of gamer friends who fill me in along the way, and there's been a general dissatisfaction I've been noticing amongst my friends in light of the fact that they keep going back to older games. I find it crazy how when I watch people play games on Steam, they break it up with new games, but there's like 1 or 2 games they all really like playing over and over again, and there's nothing new that seems to be really engaging and attracting people. Like, there's not a game of the caliber of Skyrim, really, because even The Witcher, really amazing, but the replay value is not the same, from what I understand.
It's the replay value is there, but for different reasons.
But to the extent of Skyrim, where you could approach it again at least once a year and probably not get bored.
Yeah, I would expect so because they don't keep it like they did 2 expansions to it that had each at least 80 hours of gameplay.
Look, I think we also have to take into consideration the time span, people's attention span. Games as well, and this is something I've been thinking of actually recently. Well, I've been starting to play games again because I did fall off the game wagon. Personally, attention span. How long are you gonna keep that person entertained? It goes into the storyline length. It goes into all the side missions. It goes into everything, and I feel that also as well the crash or the lack of attention kept is what's causing some of these games to be really boring.
But why is there no attention spent? It's because it's of monetization, dude. What I think has happened, this is Holden's theory, is things like microtransactions, things like DLC. Companies realized, oh wow, we can just grab more money like this. And this probably happened in like 07, 08, or whatever. Back when games were still bless. Yeah, I said bless. And then they realized ways to cash grab, and then the budgets of these games changed, right? So it went from being where like 3D animation in a basic sense, and you really just had a bunch of programmers, to like full on fucking CGI and graphics that make movies look like shit. So if your game has a budget bigger than a Hollywood production, you really need to find every fucking way to make a little bit of that cash back. Because graphics, in my opinion, ruin the quality side of writing a dope video game. It looks nice, but the soul of a game is just not the same when you rely entirely on graphics to sell.
If you're talking like open world games, yes, I agree. However, like small, close, one-laned game like God of War or like freaking Okami, or like you're talking about like all the games we grew up on, like Jack and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank, freaking
but Ratchet and
Sly
Clank,
Cooper.
was an
Ratchet and
amazing
Clank
game.
is not a graphically intense, over-the-top game
It
because
is,
the tech
though.
for its time, but for its time, nothing fit that. Because
Well, I
there was
mean,
no
Ratchet
longer,
and Clank
you
did
weren't
get remastered.
capable, yeah, remastered maybe, but you got to just consider the technological limitations of back then. They couldn't produce games to the budget requirements of a game today because the technology never allowed for it.
Of course, but having better graphics doesn't mean you can't have a really shitty
But what's
gameplay.
ended up happening, it's something that I've noticed at least, is that the overall trend is to put a heavier emphasis on graphics than on storyline gameplay. And there are exceptions, of course.
You know what?
But I'm
Now
talking
I
about
agree with you.
the
Yeah, that
total
makes
trend of
sense.
things. As graphics and sound has increased in games,
Oh yeah.
like, yo, SNES games had nothing but the actual gameplay to attract you.
But that's the whole point of it. It's all about the gaming. Okay, I get it. The graphics are cool. I am one to appreciate graphics and the sounds and all the intricateness they do with these games.
Yeah, but not to.
But let him finish.
To actually play the game is what you're buying the game for.
So you're agreeing with us, or I'm confused, because you're saying the same thing I said.
Yeah.
I assume I'm agreeing with you guys. I just got very impulsive. And
All right. Here's what's up. I'm feeling like y'all have that break look on your faces. At least Damon.
I am fidgety.
All right. So I think that we've established the point. Before we go on break here, let's just say one thing. Stop pre-buying your fucking games. Stop subscribing to fucking games. Wait till the motherfucker comes out and show these people with the power of your dollars that you won't stand for their bullshit no more.
No, but that okay. No, I'm sorry. I know you said break, but that doesn't make sense because in '83, exactly that was thought. Like people were like, okay, they're gonna
And
reduce
what
the cost.
happened next?
Everything crashed.
1985 happened. Because they crashed, it forced them to reinvent with the Nintendo.
And take advantage of what happens, but now what's gonna happen is not. We've already have a revolutionary fucking emphasis, and that's the fucking VR. If the crash happens now, we're fucked.
I don't agree, because I think it actually ties into your desire for indie games to what I believe could happen is indie games overthrow the major labels of video games.
But that's what's happening. Look at what. Okay, there's a Steam console coming out. You have Steam opened up right
Yeah,
now.
I
There's
know.
a Steam console coming out. There's a VR for Steam exclusively that's gonna come out. Steam is gonna powerhouse this bitch.
But that means that so when
I don't have a PC.
No, hear
I
me out.
have a Mac.
Hear me out though, because I have a point on this. You have the power with your money to make that happen. You have to go up to these companies and spend your money on the right things then. Look, all you gamers are going to drop insane amounts of money on video games. Is what you do. I'm not
But
that.
it's our blood.
But
it's
here's the
our
thing,
life
man.
Source.
So
We
if you
have
want
to.
Steam to make this console, buy dope Steam games. Tell them what kind of games need to be made by spending your money on the right kind of shit, but at the right time. There are certain things you can do. There's nothing wrong with spending $100 on a game a week after it came out. At least wait the week. Let the initial explosion happen.
Yeah, but
Look at the release of fucking SimCity 2013, where you bought the game with a 0 refund policy, and for 2 weeks you couldn't log in.
True.
So you guys need to consider that, especially with the evil assholes known as EA, that you can get entirely fucked on a no refund policy on these games.
Yeah, but EA was the drama queen of that, unfortunately.
EA is still a drama queen. I will never buy another EA product for the rest of my life in light of how awful the business practices of this company are.
I did honestly like Harry Potter, though. EA did a good Harry Potter. The first two games.
No,
and
listen,
that's it.
they have made amazing games, and I think they're a fantastic developer, but I've decided in my life, I'm only going to support companies that I think treat their clients properly.
Oh, they're prissy little fucks. That I'll give it to you. Like they're shit faced. But
Alright, so I think we have approached this subject and given y'all a lot to think about, and we're going to pivot the topic. So we're going to take that break, and we'll come back in a few minutes. Ayo, I got a question for Chris.
Oh, great.
What rapper loves the word cricket so much that he can't stop using it whenever he needs to fill a fucking line?
I'm pretty sure you're talking about Tech 9.
Oh, that rhymed.
I was going to do it, but I was like, I don't know. Tech 9?
Cha! Nah, okay, because like...
No, straight up, I have to say this, though. I do enjoy Tech 9.
Wait, okay, good, because I enjoy Tech 9. Like, he gets me productive. Like,
And
I don't understand a word he says, but
I
like,
have such a love-hate relationship with Tech 9. I probably got...
Look, he's
Okay.
got a good flow.
Good
and I
flow
can relate to most
the
of his songs.
understatement of the year. Now, let's talk about the love. Tech9 is possibly one of the most ingeniously creative fucking songwriters in terms of the hip hop genre I think I've ever encountered, because Buddy really takes experimentation to the next level, and this produces both great and terrible fucking results.
He also doesn't really talk about gangbanging a lot and fucking like guns and drugs and shit.
He might mention absolutely disagree with
He
you.
talks about
Not
like a
shit.
surprising amount, dude.
Not the songs that I listen to, at least.
I ain't a killer, but don't push me. It's fucking. There's a lot of
Okay,
examples.
but referencing that, I mean like full-on songs where the whole song's about like selling drugs and fucking. I enjoy the songs like Fear and like Over It, where he's talking about like
contextually
him
speaking.
taking over.
This guy's got like what 18 albums.
Does he?
Like maybe not 18, but the guy's been dropping album after album since like '99. I have.
See, I never even knew this. I discovered him on fucking Spotify in the suggestion page. Like,
I gotta give the man the credit. I took the time to, at some point, go through Tech9's discography and really try to listen to all of his older work. And a lot of it's really great in the sense that on every album, there are bangers, like top level, amazing fucking songs. And then on every album, there's really boring, awful fucking songs. And that's the thing about Tech9.
Yeah.
It's that you can't even get through a whole album without getting bored at some point or another.
Well, that's I find that's true with every album. I'm sorry,
Marshall
but every
Mathers
album
LP2 is dope. No, there's
has
tons of
like those
even-
few songs where you're like, why am I even listening to
Even
this?
Eminem,
Like,
I have to admit, there's still some songs that I'm like, okay, no, I can't.
Yeah,
but
me
it's
too.
not like there's okay.
Like you can't like every song,
But
but
it's
you
just
can
that-
enjoy what he did to produce the song and
Yeah,
how
but-
he did it.
It's just that like Tech9 has on a content front some serious fucking limitations. The guy's got like 5 or 6 real subjects that he explores on repeat. Now I know, Damon, you might not listen to a lot of the words he says, but I've made it a habit to memorize several Tech9 songs because it will make me perform better because he is that good. But once you learn the words to these songs, you're like, wow, Tech9 has no self-esteem. Tech9 is seriously not capable of forming proper emotional relationships with people. But the thing is that's like 20 years of this. It's like there's no growth in Tech9. He's still a drug-using, fornicating, low self-esteemed, why does everybody hate me kind of music, with occasional exceptions. Like, Ah Yeah, holy fuck, an amazing track. That track is so dope that N9ne reached out to him and collaborated with Tech9 on this crazy musical project, and you can find that shit on YouTube. I'm going to link it below because it was that incredible to me. So on the one front, Tech9 has all these incredible shits. On the other front, he's just so boring.
I guess to a certain extent, I feel like I can still relate to him. I feel like in listening to music now and listening to Tech9, I still feel like I can relate to what he says. I do agree that a lot of his music does sound the same. There is a lot of like repetitive party songs, repetitive We Made It songs, repetitive, I'm the best songs. But I kind of feel like that's every other genre too. Like every other genre makes the same type of shit too.
Here's
It's just
the thing.
I feel more relatable.
But like Tech9,
How he says it, at least.
but he wants to like rub in your face the fact that he's like this independent, self-made, super fucking rapper guy, and I respect the grind. I respect the hustle. When he dropped that shit in like 2012 at first, and it was like really incredible, I was all with him. It's 2016, and he's still doing it. Like,
People are still listening.
but he's still like, yeah, Forbes list. Like, okay, we get it, man, but you're supposed to be the independent alternative to mainstream hype. Like, I feel like, in a sense, that Tech9 is not so interested in developing new ways to write new songs in terms of content. He's really just interested in expanding his technical proficiency, which, as always, astounds me.
I could agree that I feel Tech9 should expand his horizon and work on different type of tracks and different type of sounds and different type of music.
Well,
but at the same time, he's
that's the
still
thing, is
doing good.
that's
at where
what
he
he's
is.
doing.
That's exactly what he's doing. Holden, he's like technically saying the wording, but however, if he's keeping on the wave, then he's doing exactly what he's supposed to do, like marketing wise and PR wise.
I think that he's like he's a marketing genius. I think his Monster sponsorship has done him quite well, and I think that a lot of things about his business are incredible. Strange Music is truly inspirational to me. But we're not really debating his business practice. We're talking about him as a rapper.
True.
And the fact is, like, I feel like in 4 years, he hasn't changed. He hasn't grown. He's hit that mainstream super success. He figured out what sells, and now he's rebranding it. So it's the rock version of what he did. Now it's the this version of what he did.
But not. Why would you say you want to change it? Would you change it as an artist?
I don't like repeating the same things. I can barely rewatch a movie. I would certainly hope that when I do get to that point in life, I'm not that addicted to the money, that I lose my artistic integrity. Now, he's a visionary when it comes to production and these crazy ideas for sounds. It's actually what you said he didn't change is exactly what he fucks around with. But I want to see Tech9 write some hyper-political shit. I want to see him get involved. He's got this entire fan base. And if Beyonce is at a point where she's willing to get involved, where the fuck's Tech9 at?
Well, maybe he doesn't want to merge to the masses, saying like, "Hey, I'm doing me. I'm not."
Nah,
doing...
man. Because if he's
No,
dropping,
but I do agree with Holden.
If he's dropping lyrics like "at even N9ne is hacking for peace," my question then is, Tech9, what are you gonna do next? Because this is him I'm quoting. I'm responding to his latest album. So I just want to see a guy like Tech9 take his position, take his awesomeness, and show some young people that you can do more than mope. Because all he does is mope and whine, and he's so negative all the time. And when he's happy, it's because he's fucked up and he's partying the pain away and shit.
But isn't that a little relatable to a lot of people in society? Like, he is portraying to like, everybody. Everybody, when they're sad, they're mopey and shit's not going well. And then when they're either intoxicated or having an adrenaline rush or something's positive, filled with dopamine, dude, they fucking, they're enjoying life.
You know what? As a completely listener point of view, because you guys, I'm not gonna hide it. Music wise, I'm not a historian. I don't understand rap.
That's cool.
I don't.
Gaming wise, I don't even play really.
But, but like, I am a singer, and I like to associate my feelings to songs and to what I'm gonna sing. And Tech9 always makes me feel. I listen to him when I'm pissed off, or I need to get something done and I don't really want to have to do it, or I'm depressed, or I'm like upset or sad. I would love to, like, I like his music. I actually like it. I would like to listen to it all the time.
You gave me like this whole strike of like retraction. Tech9's real as fuck. I have to give him credit. I think my beef with him isn't actually that his music is shitty. It's that I think he's shitty. I don't like him.
Why?
Because if that's all he is, the summation of all this music, if he's finally got the millions, if he's finally gotten everything he's clearly wanted based off of his discography, where is his like change at? Where's the point where the guy goes, all right, I made it, and what? I mean, clearly Strange Music is not doing well in terms of the rest of the roster because
What's Strange Music? I'm sorry.
that's his record label that he funded and stuff.
Oh.
So Chris Calico has still never popped. Ritz is okay, but really he's probably going to do better when he parts ways with Strange Music. And if you really look at like where did any other Strange Music act actually go without a direct influence of Tech9?
So you're saying drop the label and work on you?
Well, I'm saying that Strange Music as Tech9 as its direct connection is amazing. But the rest of the roster is just like his support band.
But I have to admit though, every song that all the affiliates do, I hate the fact that they have to quote Strange Music in some way or form.
No.
Yeah,
oh, that is so disgusting.
Every song, and I've noticed it, and it's like
that's a sellout.
It's not like they quote Strange Music. It's flat out like they will make like a joke. I think Ritz on We Just Want to Party, he goes snake and bat. The emblem. I just feel like we get it. You're part of the group. You don't have to represent.
No, I've always wondered about that, right? Because it's super hip hop to do that, right?
Yeah,
Look at like
so
Death
annoying.
Row and all these things, but there's a cultural aspect to it that we can't ignore. I don't know that. Look, if Ritz wants to shout it out because he feels like that's what he wants to do, I'm 100% okay with the.
But what if it's a marketing
song,
technique?
like maybe
See,
not every song.
I'm totally that. I'm siding with you now. In the event that it's more.
Like the label wants you to fucking.
It's like part of your contractual obligation. You gotta give like 18 fucking shoutouts to Strange Music. Well, then it's purely like Tech9 is a fucking. He's not about the art no more.
That's what I've somewhat noticed. And another thing too as well, his verses on the songs that he's featured on that are coming out of Strange Music, they always seem to be slightly a little better than the person who's actually, I would assume, made the song.
Well, to be fair, I bet there's not a single person on Tech9's roster that can out-rap Tech9. It's not like he signed a guy better than him ever.
But not out-rap him. But I mean, like,
Ritz
you could
is
give
interesting.
credit. You could give credit to the person who did the song. Like, I mean, if you put me on a song, right, and it's your song, I'm not gonna. I will do a verse. I will do a verse.
Chris, if you put me on your song, I would do everything in my power to drop the best verse I could possibly drop in that moment. And if it happened to make you look bad in comparison, I would just tell you to step your game up. That's okay.
Challenge accepted.
That's okay.
Challenge
the problem
accepted.
is where it becomes about the... I don't like name dropping, right? I don't name drop in my music. I find it obnoxious as fuck. But he's got... Tech9, Techaninas, and all this other fucking... And the crickets, man. Why the fuck does he bring crickets in so often?
Maybe because it's a fun word to say. Maybe he's
a
cricket fetish. I don't know.
But it's not that, man.
Whoa.
It's fun to say.
Cricket.
It's because it's one of his, like, niche fucking chopper flows. The cricket, live cricket, right? It's like, okay, but there's only so many words you can put there. And he relies on it heavily because I swear to where cricket comes up a lot.
Are you sure it's cricket and not crooked?
No, it's cricket.
No, it's cricket.
Like the fucking little insect. I'm like,
go on Rap Genius, they'll tell you.
Like Misty's food.
Rap Genius is cool. Now, you should check out the lyrics on some of these Tech9 songs. So, like, it's like often it's more about dropping a ridiculous flow. Here's the example of examples. The Speed 'em song with Eminem. So you finally get Eminem and Tech9 on the same track, and both are trying so hard to outperform each other in trickiness that neither says a fucking thing, and Chris Calico drops the only proper verse on the whole fucking track.
Yes.
Like
that's the third guy?
No.
That's the second guy. Eminem's the third guy. The second guy is Chris
Yes,
Calico.
that's the one that I
But
like
Tech
out of the
9
three.
Tech9 comes at the beginning and at the end right after Eminem's long
I'm
verse.
the fury, the final fight, the fuck up. Like, dude, this is like, at this point, it's not cool anymore, man. It's like, look,
Who was the other guy?
Chris Calico.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Or
like him.
Chris Calico.
Mr. Aaron Yates, this is what I have to say to you directly.
Who's Aaron Yates?
That's Tech9's
Tech9's
original
Oh,
name.
dear God, I'm so sorry, Mr.
It's
Aaron
okay.
Yates.
So, Aaron, the thing is, it's that we need you to grow up a bit, or I need you to grow up a bit, because I'm older now, and I can't stay your fan if every album's the same bullshit pandering to 19-year-olds on Molly. Well, I did that. I called you out on your marketing strategy because I love your fucking skill, bro. I love your talent, but the reality of the situation is you're an overgrown child in how you approach your fucking platform. Now, maybe people don't agree with me, but I take this shit super serious from the role model perspective, and at this point, Tech9's telling people not to care in this society, but then occasionally saying you should care because I pondered today and it's worth sharing.
Yeah, but okay, he cares on a certain level because he follows the fucking I'm gonna say it a lot.
Dude,
He follows the way.
basic
Yeah, his
society.
music.
Everybody, one day they care about something, next day nobody gives a shit. One day, Thursday comes around, oh, this thing blew up.
So I guess
Saturday, nobody really cares.
That
But,
might
like,
be his. That might
so
be his,
few people are Tech9 in regards to what he's accomplished.
What do you
And
mean?
I don't want to see him piss his legacy away because, look, let's be a little objective here. He only really started to get good around like album 8 or fucking 9. It's not even like his first 8 albums are dope. They're good in the sense that they're really cool rap albums. They're like an average grade. He's not
nice
that
to
interesting.
listen to.
But
They're
he's
nice
like,
to listen
they've
to.
only got a few songs that are like proper bangers, and most of them are fillers. And then as he gets farther along, his songwriting improves because he keeps at it. So there's a lesson in Tech9. The lesson is never give up, because look at Tech9. I think he's in his 30s by the time he's popping off. As a 29-year-old guy, I find that truly inspiring. Same thing happened with Action Bronson. He's a chef his whole life because fuck it, I'm gonna be a rapper. And now he's a rapper and he's ill as fuck. But if you take a guy like Action Bronson as an example, another independent powerhouse, lyrically he's fun. He raps about food because he loves food and he's a chef. Right? He raps quirky, harsh bars, but he's creative. He plays on puns a lot. It's innovative. It's like when you don't get bored on the next album when you realize 3-4 albums in a row, it's the same gimmick.
At the end of the day, Tech9 does have good flow, does have good relativity. On my side, I feel like I can relate. You, on the other hand, think he's a piece of shit.
Well, no, it's about the fact that as a songwriter, he's inspired me to become a better songwriter. So I love the fact that I can learn from him. But then, as an artist, as I grow and mature and I start to take
can't
myself
relate
more
to him.
seriously, the relation to Tech 9 fades because he is like fucking 13, 14 years older than me. And that's not who I want to be in my early 40s. I don't think anyone should aspire to be Tech 9 when they're 40 something.
Fair enough. Actually, since we're speaking about music, have you heard the song "Grass Is Always Greener" from Ludacris?
No, but is it about the grass always being greener or is it about marijuana?
No, it's about the grass always being greener. He's talking about how he started doing movies and he wanted to do rap, how he got married but he wanted to go back to the groupies, and it's just a back and forth on not being satisfied.
Ludacris
And I
is
feel like that's a
the
little more
best.
relative compared to what you...
Relevant.
Thank you. More relevant to what you want to hear instead of always the same
You know what it
Pop
is, man?
Molly,
It's
party, and
self-awareness.
bullshit.
It's like, look, I mean, in my life, role models are hard to come by. My father, unfortunately, isn't the best example of how to be a grown-up. I've had to go and try to find this inspiration still at 29, like how to go next. And if you look at the media, right, and the music that comes out, take a guy like Tech 9 who captivates you and captures you when you're 20. Well, even if you look at Eminem, I'm going to just pivot here for a second. Eminem, at the very least, as he's hit his late 30s, starts dropping tracks like Not Afraid and things where you can be like, wow, I should be more self-aware. He addresses it and he grows up. He still drops stupid freestyles, but he grows
changes
up.
his audience.
But Tech 9 is the same age and is basically never growing up. And I think there's danger in guys like Tech 9 promoting this false illusion of what life's like. You can't maintain his lifestyle. Like, he's not even happy. Like, you shouldn't want to be that fucked up all the time. Maybe the groupies would be fun, and I'm not going to lie, I would love my girlfriend to love groupies with me. But at the end of the day, I just don't think that his life is truly admirable. It's more, congratulations, you finally got rich, but you don't have a soul left, bruv. Is that worth it?
That's an intense question.
You know, it is a question, and it's a question I think we all ask each other as singers. Like, I'm really afraid. I'm really afraid that at some point I'm gonna get myself into some sort of twist and turn fucking loophole contract that's gonna get me stuck into marketing myself into something that I do not want.
This is
and
a
honestly,
serious fear for her. She brings it up a lot.
It makes me
But it's a serious fear for everybody.
It's
You gotta
scary.
not let
Like,
the
I'm
power
happy
and
that
the
I have,
money.
honestly, like, true things. Like, I'm happy that I have you guys. I'm happy that I have HSR here to back me up and tell me, yo, D,
Hold
you
on.
shouldn't do this. Like,
You're right, but Chris got so awkwarded out, he stood up and walked away for a second. I think I don't know what he's doing. But look, you touched his heart so deeply and fondly. Maybe that's his way of saying that his headspace is full, and maybe we should cut it this week. But we love you. Follow us, like us, subscribe to us, and tell your friends about us.